Hello and welcome, gorgeous people. Welcome to this channel. Today we're talking about motivation. This is the first one in our motivational series on how to get motivated. Now, the secret of doing stuff is to do it. But the problem is, if we're struggling to do it, then we need to find out why. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through step by step this process. Today, we're going to talk about our purpose. The next one we're going to talk about is actually how to create some goals. Okay, but before we create goals, we've got to know if those goals are in line with our purpose. Now, mostly they are. However, sometimes they're not. And so we need to know what our purpose is. Now, when I ask people, what is your purpose for being here? Most people aren't 100% sure, but they've got a jolly good idea. So let's formalize that. If you've done this before, super. You can either miss this one out, or if you've done it before, then you can do it again and see whether your purpose is still the same. Sometimes they shift a little bit. Okay, so how do we start off with our purpose? Well, to find out your purpose is not that difficult. And purposes are not complex things. Okay, no matter how much you would like it to be very, very highfalutin and super complex, they're normally very, very simple and very simplistic. Okay, so we're going to work through that. How we work out our purpose is nice and easy, but to do that, you need a pen and some paper, or a pencil and some paper. So please, or if your phone's got a pen, get your phone out. But I want you to have a pen and paper. As we do this series, you're going to need pens and papers, yeah, to write stuff down. All right, so when you're ready, this is what I'd like you to do. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to find 3 words that describe you. But there are many words to describe us. We're multifaceted beings. But I want you to think about the first 3 words that come to your mind to describe you. Very important. When you are at your best. When you are firing on all 4 cylinders, when you are absolutely rocking and rolling, how would you describe yourself? Okay, so have a think of those 3 words. So they can be things like enthusiastic, giving, or happy, or dynamic. Really, doesn't matter. Just get 3 words that describe yourself. If you're struggling, right, because some people are very modest and they go, oh, well, I don't really know. If you're struggling, think about what people say to you that you are, describing you when you're at your best. People go, oh, yeah, I like you, because you are blah, blah, blah. 3 words. Okay? So now that you've got your 3 words, describing words, I'd like you to get 3 naming words, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about when you are in your bliss. What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're doing? What action are you doing when you are in your bliss? Think about 3 different things. Just take some time and jot 3 things down that when you do them, you're in your bliss. What are you doing? Now, what can happen when you have your words? They can be what I would call low level. Low level. And now what I mean by that is you say, hey, well, when I'm in my bliss, I'm working. Okay? Very possible. Very possible that working is your bliss. However, what you've got to ask yourself is this. When I'm doing this, what is it about this that really sets me on fire? So you say, well, when I'm working, I'm creating. That's a higher level. That's a chunk up. So creating is actually, it isn't the working, it's the creating. It's the same with, you say, well, hey, I'm making things, or I'm writing. You say, okay, when you're writing, what is it about the writing that really, really sets you on fire? And you go, well, I'm actually, I suppose I'm helping people with what I write. Yeah, whether you're writing instructions, you're helping people. So helping is really what you enjoy doing, and you do that through writing. Yeah. So you see what I mean? So what you've got to do is look for the slightly higher level, because some of them can look quite mundane. Like I think I've told you before about a lady who's a cleaner and she just loved cleaning. I love cleaning. What does that get you? What does that do to you? What sets you on fire about cleaning? Well, I know that when people come in, they're going to come into a beautiful place and they're going to feel good. And so in that respect, I'm helping them. I'm helping people to be happier. Wow. How about that? Yeah. So that's the next level up. So that's what you've got to look for. Look at your 3 words that you've got, the things that you like doing. Ask yourself, what is it about this that really sets me on fire, that I really love? What am I getting out of this that I like? Now what we've got is 3 describing words that describe you when you're at your best, and we've got 3 kind of doing words that are what really sets you on fire. What is it that you're doing that you really, really, really enjoy? And now all we need to do is to put that into a sentence. But what we're going to do with the doing words, we're going to change it. For example, if you've got helping, all you're going to do is put ER on the end of that, take the ing off, and you're going to make it into a helper. Or if you like creating, you're going to make that into a creator. Or if you like doing, then you're a doer. Okay? Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to look down your 3 descriptive words. All right, whatever they are: enthusiastic, dynamic, happy, kind, whatever. And choose the one that stands out. The way that you do that is saying, if I had to get rid of 2 of them and keep one, only one could stay, which one is it? And you just do a comparison. Which one is this one against this one? Which one has to stay? And just choose the one that really, really defines you. And now that you have that, look at your doing words and then choose the one that stands out the most. And so now you've chosen your doing word and you have the sentence. Put it in the sentence. I am a describing word, naming word, a worker, a helper, whatever. And that is your purpose. Now, what I want you to do now is just read it and feel it. I am a blank, 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 blank. And notice how it feels. Typically what happens, one is that it's a bit of a disappointment because there are no whistles and bells and fireworks. It's just your purpose. And purposes are very, very basic things. It's the basic kind of DNA that's within your body. That's what it is. So lots of people kind of expect something a bit more da-da, and it's not. But also the other thing that often happens is you just think, yeah, I've always known that. I've always known that. That's who I am. It's obvious. Okay. Now, why do we need to know what our obvious purpose is? We need to know it because then we need to look at what it is that we want to do in our life. And we need to just check as a benchmark our purpose. Does what we are here to do fit with our goals? Okay. So, if you're a happy giver, then what are you doing? Are you able to give happily in what you're doing? Now, what you'll find is that in most of your life, because it's your purpose, you'll find that, yes, there are most places where you can give happily. But you'll also find that there are places in your life where you're not allowed to, or where the circumstances are not allowing you to. And you'll notice that you're very unhappy in those places. That's typically what happens. You've got to be true to yourself. And so that's why the way that you've got to work it is this. You've got to use the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is that 80% of the time you are fulfilling your purpose. And 20% of the time you're doing the other stuff that's got to be done. However, even then you can do that with your purpose. You just have to do it on purpose. For example, if you're a happy giver, then what you do is, as you are doing the stuff that you don't necessarily have to do, like, for example, my non-happy state is when I'm doing my tax returns, okay? And I'm doing figures and stuff like that. However, I change it because, I'm an enthusiastic helper. That's my purpose here, and to help people enthusiastically. I'm really happy with that. And so when I'm doing it, you can shift anything. You can say, well, I'm helping my accountant a lot because I do all the work for him. And also I'm doing it enthusiastically. So you can shuffle stuff around to make it fit into your purpose. Once something fits into your purpose, then you feel much better about it. It's when you're doing something that is against your purpose. So hence the fact, if I am an enthusiastic helper, if I go out and on purpose nastily try and hurt people, I'm going against my purpose. Clearly. It's also going against the golden rule and the fundamental natural law. But I can't do things now. And as we move on, this probably happened to all of us. The more that we move through this period that we're in, the less that we are able to be untrue to ourselves. When we're not being true to ourselves, it makes us deeply unhappy and normal because we're not in our bliss. So, really important things about your purpose, right? It's just simple, but once you meditate on it and you look at your life and look back through your life, look at the times when you've been very, very happy and you'll see that you were fulfilling fully your purpose. Look at the times when you've been very unhappy and you'll see that you were not fulfilling your purpose. And another very important thing, don't share your purpose with people who can harm you. Right, so I find it much easier to share my purpose with people that I don't interact with on a daily basis. People that, I haven't got a very close relationship with. Why? Because you don't care. I'll tell you my purpose. Hey, I'm an enthusiastic helper. And you go, yeah, fantastic. Gordon's an enthusiastic helper. And you know what? I'm a happy giver. Oh, well, we're all happy together. Yeah. But when you tell somebody who matters to you, like in a very close relationship, what happens is then they can use it against you. So just because I'm an enthusiastic helper doesn't mean I help people enthusiastically all the time. I have my bad days. I have my weak moments. And so what happens is people who love us quite often go, call yourself an enthusiastic helper. Well, you haven't helped me very enthusiastically today. And therefore all of that, it's like the dream stealers. They don't do it on purpose, but don't give people bullets to fire. Keep it to yourself. Yeah. Keep your light under a little bushel. Okay. But your purpose is ever so important, even though it's simple. It is the foundation upon which you build your life and your goals, which we're going to move on to next. Okay. All right. I love you all. And if you want to share your purpose in the comments, feel free to. It's okay, because nobody knows you to be able to say, hey, that's a load of bull. You are not that. I've heard that, by the way. I've heard that. Somebody says, well, this is what, and the partner goes, well, you are not that. Dream stolen straight away. Okay, I love you all. I'll see you all soon.